everyone. I'm stood here on the windy shore of the River Taff with a well-known Grace Church site in the background. That's Channel View, where we normally meet on Sunday mornings. And I'm stood here thinking and dreaming about the future. Dreaming about such a time as we'll be able to gather physically in one space again, and thinking about this question: what might God want to do in us in the meantime, in this season of lockdown, to prepare us for all He wants to do in the months ahead, but also for us to partner with what He is doing in the here and now. And thinking through this question has birthed an idea that I've called June 180. June 180. Here's the big idea. 30 days in the month of June, 6 hours of prayer a day from 6 a.m. to 12 noon, divided up into half an hour prayer slots that individuals commit to, half an hour each. Making 180 hours of prayer in the month of June, all for the sake of praying that there would be a turning to God in our time, in our land, in our communities. People would turn 180 degrees back to Him. It's inspired by these verses in the book of Joel from the Old Testament. Joel chapter 2 verse 12 to 14 says, "Even now declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart. With fasting and weeping and mourning, rend your heart and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for He is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and He relents from sending calamity." Who knows, He may turn and relent and leave behind a blessing, grain offerings and drink offerings for the Lord your God. In this passage we see two turnings: a turning of people's hearts back towards God, and a turning of God towards people to pour out His blessing and His power. And that's really what we want to pray for in the month of June, that our hearts would turn back towards God, be more confident in His grace, be more filled with His Spirit and empowered by His love, but that many people who are far from God, our friends and family, our neighborhoods, our communities, our land, would turn back to Him. And that in the process, God would turn back towards us and pour out His mercy and His power, heal our land, and cause many people to find Jesus for themselves. So I want to invite you to be part of June 180 with me. Could you commit to half an hour's prayer every day for 30 days in the month of June to pray for returning back to God? We don't want to over-organize this. We've said that we'll do the 6 hours each day, 6 a.m. till 12 noon. Obviously, if there's a half an hour that works beyond that time, better for you, then great, pick that. But we'd really encourage you to try and find a time in that slot where you could commit to half an hour prayer each day, so that we can join together for returning back to God in our nation, in our land, on our streets in this time. I'd love for you to be part of June 180.